Time is that wherein there is opportunity, and opportunity is that wherein there is no great time. I will follow that system of regimen which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients, and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. Certain and physicians say that it is not possible for anyone to know medicine who does not know what man is. Related to this is the surgery of wounds arising in military service, which concerns the extraction of missiles. As to diseases, make a habit of two things: to help, or at least to do no harm. I swear by Apollo the physician, and Aesculapius, and health, and all heal, and all the gods and goddesses, that according to my ability and judgment I will keep this oath and this stipulation. Timidity betrays want of powers, and audacity a want of skill. Medicine is of all the arts the most noble, but owing to the ignorance of those who practice it, and of those who inconsiderately form a judgment of them, it is at present far behind all the other arts. Whoever, having undertaken to speak or write on medicine, have first laid down for themselves some hypothesis to their argument, such as hot or cold or moist or dry. But this saying rather appertains to philosophy, as Empedocles and certain others have described. I have not thought that it stood in need of an empty hypothesis, like those subjects which are occult and dubious, as, for example, with regard to things above us. All the causes of the sufferance refer themselves to this rule, that the strongest things most especially and decidedly hurt man, whether in health or in disease. Those diseases which medicines do not cure, iron cures. Those which iron cannot cure, fire cures. And those which fire cannot cure are to be reckoned wholly incurable. While I continue to keep this oath unviolated, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of the art, respected by all men in all times. But should I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. No less mischief happens to a man from unseasonable depletion than from repletion. To the bulk of mankind, it is of little consequence which of these rules they observe, whether they make it a practice to take 1 or 2 meals per day, but there are certain persons who cannot readily change their diet with impunity, and if they make any alteration in it for 1 day, or even for a part of a day, are greatly injured thereby. It is time which imparts strength to all things and brings them to maturity. Those things which are sacred are to be imparted only to sacred persons, and it is not lawful to import them to the profane until they have been initiated in the mysteries of the science. For extreme diseases, extreme methods of cure, as to restriction, are most suitable. A natural talent is required, for when nature opposes, everything else is in vain, but when nature leads the way to what is most excellent, instruction in the art takes place, which the student must try to appropriate to himself by reflection, becoming an early pupil in a place well adapted for instruction. He must also bring to the task a love of labor and perseverance, so that the instruction-taking root may bring forth proper and abundant fruits. We ought not to reject the ancient art, as if it were not and had not been properly founded, because it did not attain accuracy in all things, but rather, since it is capable of reaching to the greatest exactitude by reasoning, to receive it and admire its discoveries made from a state of great ignorance, and as having been well and properly made, and not from chance. Life is short and art long, the crisis fleeting, experience perilous and decision difficult. The physician must not only be prepared to do what is right himself, but also to make the patient, the attendants and externals cooperate. Whatever in connection with my professional practice, or not in connection with it, I see or hear in the life of men, which ought not to be spoken of abroad, I will not divulge, as reckoning that all such should be kept secret. Everything in excess is opposed to nature. To do nothing is sometimes a good remedy. Into whatever houses I enter, I will go into them for the benefit of the sick, and will abstain from every voluntary act of mischief and corruption, and further from the seduction of females or males, of freemen and slaves. With purity and with holiness, I will pass my life and practice my art. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food.